Welcome back to Beyond the Noise, the truth lies on noise fades. Like, sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Today, we're gonna talk the last time about this Victoria Everest girl and why Central's giving her a platform to promote her health and wellness instead of actually making her understand what she's done and how damaging what she's done is. Let's get into it.
Not even think about not liking and subscribing.
I think it was more of a subconscious decision that, I was making, that I would end up in a relationship with men who at some point would end up abusing me. If it wasn't physically, it was emotionally or mentally. And it was a pattern that was continuing throughout, kind of my adult life.
So let's talk about the video, the recent viral video. So when the video first dropped, you mentioned that it was fake and it was AI. Can we talk a bit about that? Like, what did you mean?
Yeah, what did you mean when you said it was AI when it was not AI and it's completely real? What did you mean?
Given the size and scale.
Why is she smiling and laughing like anything's funny about this? She ain't taking none of this serious, No accountability. This is what pure evilness looks like.
Of my account, I'm not the person that always is behind running my account. So the video was sent to me, and my first response to the video was that this has been edited, this is fake. And that's what I said to my team. So they then took that and said it was AI. When I realized that they'd put out it was AI, I deleted the story immediately. And, then went forward with saying it's a very, very real video. It's just...
So you lied, basically. All right, let's get into it.
Are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. I mean, this has been a very intense couple of days for you, I'm sure. How have you been feeling? How are you managing?
Actually,
why are they asking her how you managing, how you feeling? Why are they showing us so much care and sympathy? Like, are we all blind to what just happened or what? Ginger J, you wouldn't even show us much sympathy, and you ain't talking about our charge. Do you get it? Like, you wouldn't give him a chance to explain himself after on a platform, would you? No, you wouldn't, because he ain't been back on the same exact platform here is where he messed up. He ain't be back on here, but she gets a chance to explain herself on this platform. This is mental, and the cheerful intro is mental.
Actually, I've managed to stay quite grounded. I've got an excellent support network and community around me, which I'm just incredibly grateful for. I'm in the middle of a 21-day juice fast, which has really just allowed me to just not react to things that are being said online. But
like, no one cares. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Straight.
Well, thank you for joining us to set the record straight. I'm looking forward to this conversation. So before we get started, tell us a bit about yourself. You've got an amazing platform in terms of wellness and fitness and caring for the body. So for those people that don't know you prior to this scandal, tell us a bit more.
What's that with the quotation marks like? Scandal? It's not a scandal. I'm surprised to this scandal, Like, ask the questions, get the answers out first, and then maybe have a judgment. She's already chose to defend, not even defend her, but, because she's a female, you can see what's going on. There was no need for the quotation marks, like, take this serious. Like, this could be your brother, your father, your son, like, why is it different because it's a female?
About what you do and who you are.
So I run one of the fastest growing detox.
This is mental. Why is she getting a chance to promote her business on her? Whole promotion, why? Why is she getting a chance to promote her business? What is this? So, they ask her for some reason about her dad, and that is the reason. They're just giving her bare reasons. Is there a reason why you would do something like this to a man instead of just calling her out straight for it?
Really changed for me, going into my teenage years, not having my father present. I would see him once or twice a year, but he didn't play an active role in my life at all, kind of going into early teenagehood, adolescence, and at the age of 19, at 47 years young, his life was tragically taken. He was assassinated by a family member. And that was, for me, probably one of the most traumatic experiences I had to go through, as a young adult.
We don't care. We don't care. No, it might sound harsh, but I'm honest. We actually don't care. But why should we care? What if the guy you're accusing of went through life as well and got accused from what you're doing? Like, you get what I mean? Like, we don't care. We're just here to expose your lies.
By the point where they realized that my life was in serious danger growing up. At the time, I was in Hackney. So when they realized that my life was in serious danger, my dad decided to step in and remove me from the UK. And I ended up finishing my studies in Germany. I went to the Berlin British School and I ended up finishing year 11.
Okay, wow, that's a lot to take in. There's so much to
And instead of this girl asking proper questions like, 3 minutes ago, didn't you say your dad wasn't in your life from he was 12 years old? And then he died at 19. And now you just said, when you're going through drama in the UK and moving like a bad breed, your dad moved you to Germany and you finished your last year of school, year 11. So that's 15 to 16. You finished it in Germany, so your dad was in your life to the point he could move you out of the whole country because he was worried about you. What are you talking about? This woman was just a liar. And she's finally going to start addressing the situation. 16 minutes in for her to start finally addressing the situation. The only reason you got her on this show is because she's gone viral for this situation. So why has it took 16 minutes of her promoting her business, talking about her dad, just creating a sad story, just creating a sad story where the viewers are going to feel sorry for her before she talks about the case. Like, she's media trained, but this is ridiculous.
Video, because I've watched it a couple times, and just to set the record straight, that video was filmed almost 10 years ago. The person who I was speaking about in that video wasn't arrested and wasn't prosecuted. Whilst I said some extremely, extremely, vile things in that video, a lot of people have.
She just said they wasn't arrested, but yet the guy said, my friend's been arrested as well, I'm getting the truth out. And she's going to admit that he was arrested in a minute, so she's just lying and she's just tripping over her own lies.
Really focused on the hate and the anger, and
I'm so sorry, I'm just going to cut you because you said...
Focus on the hate and the anger? What are we supposed to be focused on? Explain to me, what are we supposed to be focused on?
The person in the video that you were referring to was not prosecuted, was not arrested, was not charged.
Absolutely not. He wasn't, he wasn't charged. He didn't go to jail. And actually the video was provided to the police. And because the video was provided to the police, he managed to get away with.
Get away? He didn't grape you. Like, what are you talking about? He didn't grape you. Get away with what?
Those charges. And as a result of that video being provided to the police, I was charged, caution, and I had to go on probation. So I have a criminal record, and that was a decision made by the police.
That was a decision made by you for your actions. She said it like it was so dramatic, like she done 10 years. I was arrested, I got a criminal record, you went probation. You ruined someone's whole life and all you got is probation. Signing in, doing what? Maybe some cleaning a garden, or like, come on, man. I got a criminal record. You're lucky that's all you got. Certain countries, you would have been unalived for that. You're putting grape on a man's name, ruining his whole life.
At the time. So I really had to pay the price.
Okay, so
she thinks she's paid some sort of price. Someone educate this female.
Friend, the reason why he made the video was because his friend was charged with a false rape case. Yeah. And at the hands of you, you planned it. You had the man in your house where you both had intercourse, and then the police caught him there. So he was going to jail. He couldn't bust case on this particular matter because he was found in your house. But you're saying that that didn't happen.
No, so he did get arrested, and because the video,
Just said he didn't get arrested. No one's been arrested. No one's been charged. Now it's, no, he did get arrested. Listen, you lot, read between the lines. Centrl should get cancelled for this as well. What you lot are trying to do is crazy. What you lot are supporting her is crazy. I don't know if she writes the questions or someone writes the questions for the host, but what you lot are doing here is crazy. That girl needs to get cancelled, Mind Only, whatever her name is. Like, you lot are defending. If a man was defending a rapist like this, if anyone was defending a rapist like this, we'd want him out of there. You lot are basically doing the same thing. You're defending her wronging.
was provided to the police as evidence. He was released. He never got charged. And he, I never saw Denzel again. That was, over 8 years ago. We've never spoken. We've never seen. He went on with his life. I went, we made a lot of mistakes during that relationship. That was probably one of the most traumatic. I've been through 2 very, very traumatic relationships in my life.
About to deflect again, make you feel more sorry for her. We don't care. Now let's listen to her deflect more and throw the blame. It's because what he done to me. It's because this. It's because that. And I want you lot to put your comments in because I really want to know what you lot think about this and how you lot think this should get dealt with. This is crazy to me.
I hate men. One of the things I referred to in that video specifically was the fact that I say to the person that was recording the video that I'm going to put a stop to this so that he doesn't go and do this to other women.
So basically, she said that he used to abuse her, hit her, beat her up and whatnot. Which I don't believe all the way, because she said she's called the police 19 times. And because she kept letting him back in, like he would be told he's not allowed to the house, but she would let him back in because she feels sorry for him, whatever. And that's why that happened. But we all know about Claire's law, where even if she was to if she got him arrested today and turned around and said, I lied, he didn't do nothing, they would still arrest him because it's domestic violence. She cannot stop it because domestic violence. So she's lying. And Claire's law was made because a woman called Claire that was obviously saying to the police that, no, it's okay, he didn't do nothing, ended up dying, ended up being unalive from domestic violence. So since that happened, they made a law called Claire's law, where you can check, Claire's law is where you can check your partner if they got any history of domestic abuse and what not. And then the domestic abuse law is that because it's domestic abuse, even if the partner was to say, no, I was angry, I was lying, they didn't do that, they would still arrest them and investigate the case themselves. You cannot stop it.
I felt at that point that the only person that could stop this man was me. And the only way that I could stop him was by sending him to jail. And the reason behind that was I didn't want anyone else.
Victoria, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to interject here.
Yeah.
So, are you saying that you wanted to get him back because of the abuse? Because even though you're mentioning things that he's done, I'm still a bit hazy on what he actually did to you. Like, what was the 13th reason as to why you felt like I'm going to get him arrested? What was he actually doing to you?
He'd beaten me up in front of he'd beating me black and blue. It wasn't just, my mouth was swollen. I had blood, my eyes, it was just essentially it was a repeat of what I had been experiencing growing up. At that point, he strangled me. So I lost consciousness.
This one, her, she's just lying. She is lying. Trying her best to make herself look like she's the victim.
I messed up. I made a really stupid decision in making that statement. And, I had to pay the price. I really had to pay the price. Not only did somebody get away scotch-free from the offenses that they committed, but I ended up, having a criminal record because of it. Ultimately, that wasn't the end.
Because am I hearing the same thing? There's no accountability being taken, She really feels like she's the victim. They got away and I end up getting a criminal record. You try to send a man jail for rape. Like, you try to ruin the rest of his life. That's girlfriends looking at him. That's no more girlfriends. That's him can't talk to a girl. That's family members looking at him weird because they're going to believe it. You're in jail for it. They're going to believe it. That's female family members, sisters, mothers looking at him weird. That's jobs don't want to take him in. That's if he's got children. That's his children growing up and thinking, wow, my dad's done this. Like, but you're talking like something happened to you because you got probation. You're lucky.
And, like I had to do, that was the beginning of, and I think I even mentioned it in that recording that, that's what my therapist said. I've been in therapy for almost coming up to 8 years now.
Happened 10 years ago. But you've been in therapy for 8 years. But the guy on the video you're talking about, your therapy session, yeah, this guy was just capping, man.
The situation, and ultimately, I take responsibility because ultimately, I didn't have any self-worth for myself. If I had enough
She said she takes responsibility after literally saying that she was a victim of it. You don't take no responsibility. That's why you're smiling through the whole interview, and then you've failed a man's life, and you got a son. And it's so sad to say. I hope it doesn't happen to her son, but the only way she'll learn is if a girl does this to her son. I promise you. It's crazy.
I think it's very important to kind of like think about the repercussions that a rape charge has. Did you think about that? Because, for example, people that go to prison for rape are, that sometimes they get killed because of the allegations. So obviously you sending someone to prison.
Facts. It happened to someone the other day. Did you not see that case with the young youth? I think he's in jail for robbery or something. Something that's not a long stretch anyway. And he found out his cellmate was a rapist. He went in his cell in the morning and unalived him. Done him. Now he's got a life charge. You get what I'm saying? Because he done something in jail. So that could have been someone that's innocent. But everyone in jail thinks, right, he's in for that, yeah? Do you get it? So these females, fam. And not even these females. Certain individuals, like, it's crazy and no consequences, none at all.
That's number one, taking years off of their life for something that they didn't do, and there's a possibility that they could literally die in prison. Did that thought process go through your mind at all?
At that time, I'm going to be honest with you, it didn't cross my mind at all. My main thing that was on my mind is keeping myself safe and keeping my son safe and making sure that, I don't fall victim to this abuser again. And
okay, that was your main thought on your brain, yeah? Liar. We're gonna catch you out right now.
Things on camera. I was a very angry, scorned black woman who...
Don't do that black woman thing, because there's some black queens out there not like you was an angry woman. Don't do the angry black woman. Don't do that. Don't do it.
I wanted the guy dead,
I thought you just said you wasn't thinking about the consequences of sending him to jail, which consists of him being unalived. And now you just said you wanted the guy unalived. Are we watching the same thing here? Like, what is going on here?
That's the reality of it, for what he had put me through, for the pain they put me through.
That's the reality of it. I hope this guy brings her to court and uses this whole video and Centrl. Like, you lot are done out here for this. You lot are so done out here. You lot got a platform where you lot actually can talk about serious situations. You got an audience that actually needs to hear the truth about these kind of situations and consequences. And the younger generation that are watching you lot can see that this is not cool. You made everyone think that this is easy to do and it's acceptable. I don't know why you lot are condoning this.
Record of 19 separate occasions during the time we was in a relationship for 18 months where I'd called the police for whether it was domestic abuse, violence, sexual assault.
What was it for? What did you call the police for?
For domestic abuse, violence, sexual assault. Throughout the 18 months, there was 9.
And the police didn't do it.
18 months, 19 calls for them charges there. What was that? You called police once a month and once before you met him. Like, what? Does this make sense? Like, this is mental. Seems like she's a toxic one.
Do anything. There was no
follow-up because I kept letting the man back into my space. How there's only so much that they could do. I was I had a huge part to play in this.
Said there was no follow-up because she kept letting him back into his space. She's lying. There's not so much they can do. He still would have got bagged. He still would have went jail. He still would have served time. Even if she let him in every day and he kept getting arrested 19 times, domestic abuse, he would have been in jail. What are you talking about?
It's, you know, in the toxicity of it. You know, I was in a very toxic, broken space.
So let's go back to the video, Victoria. In the video, firstly, who are you speaking to in that video?
Listen, the internet needs to get her out of there. Like, everyone on the internet, do what you're supposed to do. Get her out of there. Like, message her clients, whatever. Like, blackball her till she's out of it. She should not be able to make a penny off our race of people when you're trying to send our black men to jail for stuff they didn't do. About health and wellness. You are not spiritual. You are the devil. Yeah? Females, do what you need to do. Don't let this one slide, man. I'm counting on you. If you don't know if the truth lies on Nice Face, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah.